Tonight on The Patriot Factor, we are here with special guest Darren Coates, pastor of New Love Worship Center. Pastor.
Thank you for having me, Sarah.
Thanks for coming. So, $10.5 million in property damages since the Brady trial ended. You have a question for those angry Black protesters out there.
The question I have for those protesters is that, do Black lives really matter? And I say no. Black lives does not matter. They won't not matter. And they can't not matter until Black on Black crime is eliminated.
Wow. Preach, preacher.
Blacks is confused. Don't nobody know what to do. Confused. What I'm gonna do? Am I gonna raise a fist? Or am I gonna march? Am I gonna march? Or am I gonna take a knee? Riot. Loot. What? And you know what the answer is, Sarah? Prayer.
Yes, Lord.
Prayer, Sarah. I get down on both knees. 2 knees, not one.
Yes.
And I pray. I pray that the same God who saw us through the middle passage will see us through this.
Amen.
Amen, sister?
Amen.
Amen.
Yes.
Hey, what's going on, Cassidra? What's good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. My bad, I just saw the sound wasn't even on anyway. But Hey, what's going on, Cassidra? How you doing today? All right, yeah, Cassidra, you there? All right, so yeah, something must be going on with our Mike. But yeah, man, what's going on, my people? You know, what's going on, William Bell, my brother? I appreciate you for joining in, for coming in. We definitely
I'm here
gotta.
for yeah. Sorry,
Oh
my
no, you
mic.
all right?
Yeah, I couldn't hear you, and I was thinking something was wrong. But yeah, we good. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, how you
Yeah,
doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Had to get on my phone. Something's wrong with our internet out here, so yeah, I'm on my phone. So let's try it and see how that goes.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. So definitely, hopefully everything go good. Hopefully you'll be able to see everything that we talking about. But you doing all right today? You having a good day and all of that?
Oh, yeah, every day. Yeah, it's a great day. Absolutely. Absolutely. How about yourself?
Oh yeah, yeah, it's going good. Everything going good. Glad that we can be back today.
Yes, huh?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So yeah, consider today is definitely going to be a tough conversation.
Yeah.
Um, I know all of them is, but um, go ahead. But and I want to show you this when we get into it because I want to know what you think. I don't know if you heard of this older woman here. Let me see.
That was cute.
Yeah, she's in.
This lady right here, Pauline Brown, I'm sure you will soon. She is a force to be reckoned with. And no cap, I'm thinking about putting some money on her books because, yeah. So, anyway, it was a fine Tuesday morning, probably a great day too. Pauline got hungry. She was like, shit, I think I want to go make my family some chitlins, some beans,
Oh, hold on,
they
because this dude doing here. Let me play the shorter one.
If y'all don't know about my grandma, Miss Paula Brown, y'all gonna put some respect on her name today. Y'all better put some respect on my grandma, Miss Paula Brown, because y'all about to find out about my grandma. So Miss Paula Brown was arrested for pew pew in a Target parking lot. A Target parking lot. Y'all know these old people. Miss Paula Brown, she woke up today on 5 stars Grand Theft Auto. So let me tell y'all what happened with Miss Paula Brown. Y'all know how old people they drive slow, they move slow. So Miss Paula Brown pulled up to a Target parking lot. And when she pulled up to the Target parking lot, she was trying to get in that handicap parking spot. Like I do. You know I got that handicap stick on the back of my whip. Ooh, ooh. But she wasn't moving fast enough. And two Caucasian people whipped in front of her. Miss Paula Brown usually just going about her day. But Miss Paula Brown, she had time today. So Miss Paula Brown waited outside for 2 hours. 2 hours. When they came back outside, about to get in the car, Miss Paula Brown walked up to the driver's side before he got in the car and said to him, "Are you handicapped?" And you know he probably had a smart remark and was like, "No, I ain't handicapped." So you know what my girl Miss Paula Brown did? She said, "Pew pew," right in his kneecaps. Witnesses said as she walked back to her car slowly, she looked back and said, "You handicapped now." But like I said to y'all know Miss Paula Brown, she moved kind of slow. She probably took a minute to get back in the car and put the seatbelt on, put a certain Brown did.
And so yeah, consider this old sister needs some bells. So she walking around with her candy bars, consider, and the white boy tried her, and she waited for him for 2 hours, and like wow, right in his kneecaps.
Ain't that something? Grandma got her candy bar, but a whole lot of other black folk don't. Ain't that something?
Hmm.
Ain't that something? That's just hilarious right there. That you gotta beg other black folk to get their candy bars.
Yeah, and they're trying to charge this old sister, so we should be putting up bail money, getting her out of jail.
Exactly. But you know what? We're not gonna do it because you're gonna have some black folks say, well, she shouldn't have done that. You know, we always got something to say against our own. That's the sad part about it. We can't never be free because other folks scared to be free.
Scared, yeah. And I hate to do it, consider, but there was another brother here with his friend here. That was at a sleepover with his friend, consider.
Oh, stop. No.
Thanks for inspiring this video here.
Mm.
Where a black youth thinks that his white friend is cool. He goes over his so-called white friend's house for a sleepover, and the white friend takes him out, ends his life. People
Hold on, I want to show you the new.
Well, today, a 20-year-old man was sentenced to 40 years in prison for killing a 17-year-old who thought he was his friend.
Now, we first told you about James Sotelo in the Breaking Bond series. He was free on bond for assault when he murdered Corey Leonard Thompson.
So he had murdered the brother and was free on bail. Consider.
He does something. And he still lived to go to court. That's the sad. See, this is what pisses me off. We can't never defend our own to save our life. But my thing is, how many times we got to tell y'all to keep y'all asses from over their houses? Why y'all keep going over there? Why? Do you not know these people yet? What's got to happen? Why does this keep happening? Because all white folk ain't bad, huh? Well, the ones that I'm seeing is, I ain't seen one not yet. That's not.
Yeah.
But y'all keep on letting your kids go over there. Keep on. I told you we don't love our kids, because if we did, this wouldn't keep happening. Seriously. This wouldn't keep happening, because I know folks seeing the news, but you still trusting enemies, allowing your kids, trusting them with your babies. Keep on trusting them. Go ahead. I don't feel sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just can't feel nothing right now, because we keep telling y'all, stop letting y'all children go over their house. Them people ain't friends. They don't even like you. So he gets out of jail. He kills his brother, gets out of jail. So how much time did he just get? Did they give him some time? I didn't hear it.
They said they gave him 40 years, but he'll be out. They'll give him parole in 20 years, so he'll be out by the time he's 40.
Ain't it? Yeah, but he probably ain't gonna get that much time. He probably ain't. Because what's her name get? The one that killed the black boy, Botham Jean. She got 5 years, didn't she?
Yeah, something like that.
You see what I'm saying? And see, he should have never, for one, he should have never been able to go to court. He shouldn't have even been able to look at another daylight. I'm just saying.
Right.
But how is this boy 40 years old and you 15 and you think that's your friend? Does that make sense to you?
No, they're the same age. No, yeah, I guess you're right, because he's 15 and the dude 20. So
why are you over his house?
All right. Yeah, I just thought about it. You're right, damn.
I don't understand. I thought he said he was older than that. Play that again so I can make sure what I heard.
They said, they giving him 40-year sentence for doing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I don't know what it's gonna take, family. Can y'all help me out, please?
Yeah,
I don't understand. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Free on bond for assault when he murdered Corey Leonard Thompson Jr. Fox 26 Brandy Wallace has more.
A jury listened to a week of testimony in the murder trial of 20-year-old James Sotelo. In March of 2021, he gunned down 17-year-old Corey Thompson.
You had to look at him every single day of the trial.
It took a large amount of patience, because you can feel your body just shaking with anger, but you knew you had to be patient so you don't have to go through that retrial all over again.
Sotelo took the stand and claimed he shot Corey because he attacked him in his sleep.
Of course, that's not true, because every gunshot that he had was sustained from the back. 11 of them.
And think about that.
11. And then he gonna lie and say he shot him. He was attacking him in sleep.
Then how he get a gun in your sleep and shoot somebody while you sleeping?
He playing that. Go ahead.
Oh, man, 11 times in the back. 11
times. He knew he was gonna kill him. He playing that. He thought he was gonna get away with it because he lied and said, "Oh, he attacked me in my sleep." Because they always can lie. Yeah. And something, they can lie and get away with it. Okay.
Yeah.
11 of them.
Did he ever show any remorse?
Never, not once.
He never is going to take accountability for what he did. He never cared. He's never going to care. He just cares for himself. It's beyond selfish.
It only took the jury 4 hours to find Sotelo guilty.
That was a relief for us to know that, okay, at least he would take some punishment for what happened.
The trial was in the 232nd.
Listen to this part. This is the judge here.
And Judge Josh Hill's court. In Breaking Bond Reports, we told you how Judge Hill lowered Sotelo's bond amount twice.
To get out and continue to commit a crime again.
So he got out of jail and made another crime and got arrested, and then I think got on bond again. Got caught with a gun charge, another gun charge. Wow, I don't.
But you know what? This is what they do. They don't ever treat theirs like they treat ours. You think ours would have been able to get a lower bond? They'd have had the highest bond, and they'd have been in there for 45 years. They'd have gave him. They'd have gave him life. They'd have gave him life. I'm surprised he got over 20. I'm surprised he got that much time. Seriously, I'm surprised. But if he could have helped him, he would have. Trust me.
Yeah, he tried.
But I'm gonna tell you what. Then what you call that canteen? I get the biggest and baddest. Y'all go ahead, have your way. I'll pay your canteen for until you come out. Seriously, my thing is we have to start doing something. We can't sit up here and see stuff like this and still don't do nothing. Every day of his life, it should be every night of his life should be very miserable. I'm just saying, every night. When they get done, he should be a woman. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It don't make no sense. We don't ever pay them back. We don't ever. We always just, okay, let the law take care of it. Okay, well, I'm surprised the law gave him this much time, for real. Seriously.
Facts. Yeah, it's rare, for real.
And he was caught with a gun, and you were just on bond for murdering somebody with a gun. It's terrible.
It was Judge Hill, not the jury, who sentenced Sotelo to 40 years.
I learned that most families don't actually get to have the moment we had today. And I'm very appreciative we were actually able to get a small piece of justice versus what other families can never see in their life.
It's better than nothing. I mean, for us, a life sentence would have been better because that's where we're sentenced to. We have a life sentence without my son.
Randy Wallace, Fox 26.
All right. You want to say something, Cassidra?
You know what? I'm sorry. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times we have to tell you. I just don't get it. I don't. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to be patient. But Black folk, y'all wearing me out. Y'all wearing me out. Why do we keep being bothered with these people? These people are not humans. These people are full of Satans. These are Satan's seeds. Do we understand that? These are not real men. These are not people at all. They're not humans. So how many times do we have to keep telling you, stay away from them? You won't have this problem. Take your children away from them. Take them out of their schools. I don't know. That's all. It just bothers me. It makes me so mad. It's senseless. It didn't even have to happen for Cass.
Yeah, I know.
But we won't listen. Go ahead.
Yeah, he thought like he said, like somebody he thought he was his friend, and you don't know who friends are.
How you thought that was your friend, though? How? And your friend didn't murder you? That ain't no friend.
Yeah. We don't know what friends are,
Well, if they look like that, forget it. I don't need no friends. Trust that. You can keep them friends, honey. You can keep them friends, honey. I'd rather have none. I'll take my chances.
Yeah. Yeah, and just so what we're gonna talk about today, this is the police, and I ain't gonna play this video. I just want to set it up.
We have to deal with the larger problem of the whole issue of law enforcement generally. We're in a situation where, as much as we need to pass the Floyd Act and all that, but here's the deal: cops are having real trouble. They're not all bad guys. There are a lot of good guys. We need more policemen, not fewer policemen.
We need more cops.
What the hell? That's why his ass need to be in a nursing home right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right now. That's why what happened to him happened.
Yeah.
He thought he had friends, didn't he? They got his behind, didn't he? His own vice president got him, didn't she? You think she ain't gonna reap that? Oh, she gonna reap that one. Yeah, she gonna reap that because she think Obama her friend. You gonna do to her what y'all just wait and see. That thing gonna be the worst thing ever. She gonna make it in office. What y'all bet? She gonna get in there. Because it's something between now and November gonna happen. And she's gonna get in that house. I'm telling you, watch and see. Y'all just listen. Don't say nothing. Just watch. Watch and see. Trump will never make that seat. Never. Never. But I rest my mic. I ain't gonna say nothing else. You gonna see.
Nah,
It's
hey, I
gonna be
feel
the
you.
worst. And when you see her face standing behind that, you're gonna see that's the new world order. Things are not gonna be the same. And people don't understand that. They looking at her. That woman has lied. She says she believe in a study. She already told you she won't do nothing for you last time. And then they asked her about reparations. She said, "Well, I believe in a study." But you don't believe in a study for Ukraine. You don't believe in a study for Asia. You don't believe in a study for the Jews. You don't believe in a study for anybody but Black people. Why we get a study and nobody else gets a study? Just gave the Jews millions every year. Then you got Ukraine, and the immigrants. Everybody get money, but people that's born here and built this country. Immigrants who wasn't even here get money, getting the EBT check and getting Social Security, getting everything. But y'all just watch and see. She's gonna get in that seat. So go ahead.
Yeah. And this is the police that they back in here, It's like so a young brother here riding around with his white girl who is the daughter of a cop.
Oh,
And
wow.
a cop pulling them over.
What? He killed him?
No. He just arrested him.
You can get out. You're going to jail. Get out.
Why is he dating that man's daughter?
We'll make shit up as we go.
He said we'll make it up. Whatever we arrest you for.
Well, I'm glad he got that on tape.
Sometimes weed on you? What's that? Obviously. Go get smart so I can do something to you even more.
You hear that? They got a history of making threats and stuff like that. I wanted to be clear.
So we see this, and the FBI told us that we've been infiltrated, but why is there not being anything done about this? So the FBI can tell you literally, you've been infiltrated. The police department has been infiltrated. We see the signs, but they still don't fix the problem because that chief who allowed that hoodlum, that thug, to be on that police force should have lost his job because you knew his record, you saw his record, but you didn't give a damn about his record. Then time to forgive me, bitch. I don't forgive you for nothing until you get off that force and you go and retire somewhere. I'm not forgiving nothing. He needs to lose his pension, everything, because that girl lost her life. You need to lose your pension because you knew that you hired a nothing. You knew that when he hired that dude.
Yeah. All right, and this is a state Supreme Court judge who is just another
State
white girl.
Supreme Court justice suspended, facing removal from the bench after threatening to shoot a group of Black teenagers.
Here she is right here. It's the video. It happened at a house party near Utica in the summer of 2022. Just now being released.
This week, the Commission on Judicial Conduct calling the judge's actions racially offensive, saying she can no longer serve as a fair and impartial judge.
Or they'll be shot on the property.
Well, I'm just everything.
I'll shoot them on the property.
New video just released capturing state Supreme Court Justice Aaron Gall threatening to shoot a group of Black teenagers.
They'll be shot on the property.
Well, I'm just letting you know that
because
the best case
when they
scenario,
trespass, you can shoot them on the property.
They should just come here and just. No, I'm just saying.
I'll shoot them on the property.
The judge was at a high school graduation party at her friend's house when authorities say there was an argument between invited and uninvited guests. A group of Black teenagers who received a text invite to the party with the address then arrived, and a fight broke out shortly after.
Kind of split open pretty far.
Yeah, I've been telling him since I got eyes on him that he needs to go get checked out.
He was definitely hit with something.
During the scuffle, the teens lost the keys to their car and couldn't leave the neighborhood, appearing to upset Gall, who wanted the children to leave, but refused to turn over their car keys if she found them.
If the key turns up,
we're absolutely going to throw it in the toilet. You're welcome.
Somebody's sister's coming to pick them up and get them out of here, and I'm going to get his information. And
So that's your judges out there.
Ain't that something? But they show us every time Every chance they get, they show us who they really are. Every chance. Every chance. But guess what? We still don't believe it, do we? We still say white folk are, and they're not all bad. So the ones that I'm seeing here are, and I'm looking at their history. Their history shows me that they're badasses. That I don't want nothing to do with them. Nothing. I don't even want to live in the same neighborhood with them. I don't even want to go to school and work with them. I don't even want to drive on the same road with them. I don't even want them delivering babies. I don't even want them as a doctor. I don't want them as a lawyer. I don't want them as a judge. I don't want them as nothing. Nothing. But go ahead.
Yeah, facts. All right, now consider, and we're gonna talk about this one with the sister Sonia Massey, right? And I want to play this for you, right? And I can't validate what this brother said, per se, but I'll play it anyway, because and I wouldn't. I'm gonna play it. Hold on.
That they unalive Sonya Massey on purpose. This is her 4-year-old cousin. The cops just unalived him, and I don't like it. Relax, I'm about to tell you what I think happened and tell you about her 4-year-old cousin, what he went through. Illinois State Police unalived 2 people, including a 4-year-old boy, while responding to a domestic violence call. June 7, 2020. And of course, the police have a great story of why they unalived this boy, but check this out.
Now, consider, normally I wouldn't even play this, but I want to play this one for you because I don't know if what the brother was saying was true. I don't know if they're cousins or not, or anything what he was saying was true or not.
I've heard that being said. I've heard that also, but go. I want to hear the story because I'm gonna tell you. I remember a story when 2 black police officers shot into a car that a white dude was driving, and the car was getting ready to hit the black officers, and they shot through the car and shot the white boy, and they got 20 years. Right? Remember that?
They got like 45 years, I think. One of them got 40 years.
I thought it was 20. I thought it was 20, but maybe they did. But
They
I'm
got
just
like
saying
40
they got some
years.
jail
Yeah.
time. They got some
they-
jail time, right? But my thing is, how much time did this man get for shooting this baby, trying to get the daddy? How much time did he get? I'm just saying. I'm just asking for a friend. You see what I'm saying? How they always, and you can't shoot into a moving car like that.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I remember that.
But go ahead. I'm just asking for a friend. How much time this white boy get
Yeah.
for shooting this other baby?
Yeah. Now I'm not gonna lie, and consider I normally wouldn't play this because I don't condone what the black dude did here. So I want to hear what your thoughts is on this.
Call police,
But
open
I
the door.
agree with what you're saying.
Huh? Officers make their presence known at an apartment in the 900 block of North Charles. To be greeted with screams for help. And eventually finding 57-year-old Anthony George, later lunging into a nearby room, grabbing 4-year-old Terrell Miller. A single gunshot killing them both in an instant.
Anthony was intoxicated and things went left. Like he told me, if I can't have you, nobody can.
And that's exactly how Terrell's mother, Kiana Miller, remembers it.
No justice, no peace. What in the world will you grab that baby?
Along with
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
That is so selfish. Wow, he hurt her without even hitting her. Wow, I think that's disgusting.
Yeah,
That's what kind of man. But see, you have to understand. Here we go again. Let's talk about that. Us picking men instead of boys, picking men that's not mentally ill, because living in America has done something to our men. Period. Living in America, you got a whole lot of people dealing with mental illness. A lot of people, more than you think. More than you think. Because every day we got to deal with them devils. Every single day. Every single day we got to deal with them. So everybody got something going on with them, whether it's PTSD or some type of mental illness. And them too. Because we're talking about people that used to see, burn people, hanging them alive and burning them. So, and then their kids watched it. So that's mental illness right there. So we got a lot, everybody is dealing with a whole lot of mental illness passed down from slavery, from generation to generation. We just have gotten through it, have survived it. You know what I'm saying? But we hanging on by a thread right now. Black folk hanging on by a thread. I'm just looking for any day for black folk to just lose it. I'm serious. Because I'm tired. I don't know about it. I'm just waiting on everybody else to get tired. Because it's coming. This civil war is coming. It's coming. And it could be within the next 3 months. But it's coming. I rest my mic.
Yeah, it's just crazy, you know. But yeah, you're right. You know, it's and I'll go back to the rest of this so we can talk about what we was talking about. You know?
Now, word on the street is Grayson.
Law enforcement is
monster that did
anti-black.
this to Sonya Massey. His girlfriend worked at the mental place where Sonya was at. And allegedly, his father-in-law is the chief of police. Now, I believe Grayson's girl got into it or somehow had a problem with Sonya, and Grayson plotted to come do this. If you remember my other video, I said he was the one in the backyard. So I'm gonna play out this evidence and play out the scenario. Now watch this. He's at the backyard banging because he wants her to call the police, or he wants her to come out there so he could unalive her or something. This was already planned out.
It sounds like somebody was banging on the side of my house. I don't know. Could y'all come and see? And somebody else. The address for me? It is 2868 South Hoover Avenue. What is your name? Sonya Massey. And your phone number? I don't know the number by heart, but I know that somebody's outside my house right now. Okay, have you seen the person? Over the deputy show what? Yeah, okay. It came in as a prowler. She heard someone outside her house. I actually took the call. I tried to ask her further, and she hung up on me. They're now saying self-inflicted.
Self-inflicted. So you see, they tried to say self-inflicted because they didn't count on the body cam and all this evidence coming out and everything.
Exactly.
But now that he's got her to call the police, he comes so fast, she don't even have a chance to get dressed or anything. He's right there with the backup, and he asks her about her mental. And how would he know anything about her mental unless he had previous information on her?
The body camera video reveals the events leading up to the horrific scene. Take you so long to answer the door. Oh, I was trying to.
I don't believe that he.
All right, mentally? Yes.
I don't believe that. I believe it was some things that she was saying, that was coming out her mouth. Because I'm thinking she was on drugs, or she was high, or she was on a lot of medication. Because that's what it sounded like to me. Because she was like, "Lord, please, please, please." She was playing on her phone, but she kept saying, "Please help me, Lord. Please help me, Lord. Please, Lord, help me." She kept saying that right over and over. And then a man said, she said, "I'm trying to get some help," and he said, "We're here to help." And she said no, and she kept like, "Lord, help me." So either she knew that it was something going on, or she was feeling something or something, because she always was like, even when she called the police when she got in the house, she called again for the police to come. And then the man was like, "Is the sheriff there?" He goes, "Yeah." And she goes, "No, wait a minute, hold on." She wanted him to actually hold on the phone because she was scared. So it was more to it. I don't know what happened. But if you will watch the whole video, you can understand that it was a whole lot more to that whole story, and we'll never know. We will never, maybe later, but right now we would never know. But he had no business going to her house, though. None whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love y'all.
Inside the home,
He don't even have the demeanor of somebody who's coming to help her. He has a demeanor like he's on trash. Asking her what took her so long to come to the door. You're supposed to be helping her. Then once in the house, isn't it ironic that he's the one that asked her to go over to the stove,
right,
and turn the stove or check the stove, whatever, when that was not that serious? Nothing was gonna burn down at no fucking at that time. He could have just left, but he plotted it out. Then when she went over there, he's actually walking towards where she's at. And she's like, "Well, what are you doing?" "I'm getting away from the water."
Net.
How are you getting away from the water, but you walking towards her? Right. Then you don't render aid. He planned that out.
And I'm gonna go get my kid. You go get it, but that's headshot.
I mean, I got so much proof that they.
But did you hear what he said when
Mhm.
when he told the partner? For one, why didn't he let the partner go and turn the stove off? For real, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I wouldn't
Right.
even wanted her near that water. I'd have said, "Hey, partner, go turn that stove off," and I'd
Mhm.
have let her sit there. You know what I'm saying? But all that digging in the bag, she was nervous already. She was already nervous. I don't care what nobody said. That's what it looked like to me. That she was already nervous. She couldn't find nothing. She was looking at her bag. She was so nervous. And then when she said, "The Lord rebuke you" or something. He said, "You better not." Did you hear that? When he said that, "You better
Yeah.
not." And then he said, "I will shoot you in your effing face." Right, right. And
Yep.
exactly what he said is what he did. But my thing is, we have to. It's so much deeper. This story is so much more deeper. But we don't even understand the aspect of that. When she said that, what she said to him, and he said what he said, "You better not." Like that demon was speaking through him. People don't understand that. This is first spiritual, then natural. And people don't understand how real the spirit realm is. You know what I'm saying? We just don't get it. We don't get it. But he should have never been in that girl's house. But I'm hoping that this gonna teach us not calling them. What you calling them for? Stop calling them. You wait till somebody come in that house and you do what you handle your business, baby. You got to have your own candy bars to be able to protect yourself, ladies. Because we know that we don't have anybody that, we can't call the police because the police gonna come and kill you. And some of these women who don't have men because they say they don't want one, then you better get something to protect you, a dog or omen or something. You better get some candy bars or something to protect you. Because you once said you don't want a man to protect you. And without a man, you gonna die. Because you ain't got no protection. You didn't got rid of your protection. Everybody else got your protection but you. Because you said you didn't want no protection. We don't need a man. That's your protection. The presence of a man is everything, honey. Go ahead.
Yeah. And before I play the other video, let me play this one. Since we gonna talk about backgrounds, bring up the
Disaster.
background.
This video obviously has gone viral.
I'll let them tell you
So
his
let's
background.
break it down and talk about it. First, I want to talk about the deputy that was involved in the actual shooting. Scott, you did a bunch of research on this guy. Why don't you share with everybody his background and why it's important in the further discussion of what happened the night of the incident?
Yeah, the deputy involved in this looked like he had a pretty troubled, history. And if you just look at sort of any major news source, they're talking about it. They filed immediately Freedom of Information Act requests on him, his personnel records, and they were able to get a ton of info. So they're saying he was discharged from the Army for serious misconduct, had a history of driving under influence. I think I read something, maybe he had 2 convictions, for DUI. He had been disciplined from a previous agency for his decision making, right, under high stress incidents. Something about he's in a pursuit. Supervisor tells him to terminate the pursuit, and he doesn't, which is sort of what you got to do, right? You're a supervisor. I was a supervisor, and he continued on and was basically pursuing him with no lights and siren on, which is even more dangerous than just keeping your lights and sirens on and doing it.
That's crazy.
He was. A couple personnel memos came out, and I think you can find them online, or certainly the synopsis of them, talking about where one of his supervisors was saying this guy makes terrible decisions. How are you still employed with us? Is what one supervisor marked.
How are you hired? That's what I want to know. How are you hired?
And you can take all kinds of decision-making classes. Now, if you also publicly available now is his employment records, which showed that he worked at 5 previous agencies prior to the one he was at when the shooting occurred. It's not to say if you've worked at a variety of agencies, it's necessarily bad, right? We know people that have worked at a few agencies. I worked at one agency and then lateraled, reapplied, I guess you would say, to a new agency. Fine if you want to make a change. However, given the context of the rest of this guy's behavior, it just kind of paints a picture of maybe somebody who has got some issues going on. We don't know the man, don't know what the issues are, but spending less than a year at a bunch of different agencies and getting kind of moving around to all this stuff just maybe speaks to a level of commitment, or, gee, maybe I got in trouble here, I'm going to go move over there. It really looks bad for these agencies as far as their hiring practices.
Just like last week, the cop shot somebody. I forgot. It's been so many. Shot one of a lot of little young teenagers. They got in trouble for hiring him at another place.
And see, that's what they do. They don't have no, and this is what Biden was supposed to do. Remember, he said we're gonna get a police commission together, and ended up not doing it. But my thing is, if you get a police commission, make sure it's an outside facility that's gonna really do what they need to do and really investigate these people. But remember when his partner said something about he wanted to go outside, or he said that, remember the dude that shot her said, "Oh, I forgot my camera. I forgot to turn my camera on." What did his partner say? No, don't worry about it. I have mine on. And he could have pooped his pants because he really didn't want a camera there. That's why he lied and said she was coming toward him with the water, because he didn't know that dude had his camera on. Because he lied when somebody came up there. He lied and said that she charged at him. And that's when the dude was like, "What in the world?" But I'm telling you, he lied. That's why they fired him, because he lied on camera. I'm gonna rest my mic. This is crazy. All this is crazy.
Yeah, that's a fact. And all right, so we're gonna talk about this fool here.
Being said, let's talk about this specific situation. Allegedly, and through the documents, and when I say allegedly, because I don't believe none of the news says, and I don't believe the outcome of some of these cases anyway. However, I'll just use the word allegedly. So they responded to a prowler call, which means a person who's lingering.
I don't. Which part is alleged? Is just alleged? Like,
exactly. What fault? Did they go or didn't they?
All right. What did he shoot her in the face like he's threatened to do, or not?
In the world, this is crazy.
Ordering around the property, potentially going in the backyard, searching through stuff. Could be an individual that could be looking to burglarize a facility. They show up to this woman's house, looking around the yard first, and then they make contact with her. She is mentally ill, according to the documents, suffer from schizophrenia and probably other mental health issues. Initially, when you watch this video, you're going to see that they were having a cordial conversation, and then it goes south. Benjamin Crump is on the case, so it's all BS, in my personal opinion. We would never hear about this case if the woman was white and these officers were white, or if the officers were black and this woman was white. You'd never hear about it whatsoever.
Sure you would, especially if the officer was black and she was white. You would. Come on, dude. What's wrong with him?
Right.
Because
he's a dummy. I'm telling you. He the one. But wait a minute. Forecast. He was the one that said he didn't even see the video. He didn't even watch all of the video, and he was making a commentary on a video. He didn't even see all of it. So what are you talking about? That shows that. My thing is, why are you running your mouth when you didn't even see the whole video? He'll let you know here that he didn't even have time to watch the whole video. He just watched half of it and just start assuming. This is what you don't do, is assume about your sister. But go ahead.
No, I mean, because the irony is, and this is what get me about people, right? Like, he's like Benjamin Crump, and you'll never hear nothing. And the thing is, he wouldn't be talking about it if he wasn't trying to make money off of it either. Like, he's doing the same thing, talk about some, like, because he got a coon for his audience so he could get paid. So you wouldn't be talking about it either, you fool. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, people kill me with that one because they always try to call somebody out what they doing.
Yeah, but they doing the same thing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, crazy. Dummy.
Yeah, but anyway.
Benjamin Crump.
I never really played him because I never took him serious because,
get some money and trying to get a payout. They ended up indicting the police officer that fired the shot, charged him with 3 counts of murder as if he intentionally killed this woman. I'm going to go through the process and tell you specifically why I think that there's room for improvement in tactics. I think that things could have been done differently. Maybe those things would have saved her life, but that has nothing to do with whether, in my opinion, whether an officer is justified or not in this particular instance, in the predicament that they were already in. There's a lot to talk about.
All right, so we're just going to play some of it until you say that's enough for it. But in the meantime, we're just going to jump in.
I don't understand, because the black officer is seeing something totally different. And then you had the 2 white officers, right? Those 2 white guys were officers. And they said that the dude was guilty. So now you have a black man, a black officer. He's an officer, if I'm not mistaken, who is sitting up here agreeing with this woman being dead over some water that she poured down the sink. She poured the water out. So how? Tell me how. Was this water going to hurt him? when it was poured, that she had poured it. Because if you listen to the video, you can see her you can hear her pouring the water down the drain. So what was dangerous about that? But go ahead, I rest my mic.
I'm gonna just get the video started, and I'm gonna
just
go
don't make
methodically
sense.
through the video.
Yeah, like so we'll let them
and bring it up.
So we'll
I'm
see
open
the
to
whole
somebody
thing.
disagreeing with me if it's justified or not. I don't think every police involved situation is justified. In this specific situation, I thought it was unjustified before I watched the video. That's why I want to review it with you guys. Roll the clip.
Here, grab your ID for me.
Okay.
Your ID. One task at a time. So let's do an ID, and then you can dig around for your paperwork.
I don't know where my ID is.
You have that stack right
You can fast forward that. I mean, this is just stupid. Go to the part where he's at the screen.
She's probably discombobulated, rambling, and doing all these other things. She seems to be someone who's struggling mentally. Don't have to get into a deadly force situation. They asked her to go and turn that fire off because they didn't want it to catch on fire while they were over there talking to her.
They told her to go cut the water off.
Yeah,
right?
he told her to go, and she went, and then he shot her. How much sense does that make?
Who are struggling with mental illness. Because you're mentally ill don't mean you deserve to get killed over something, right? So officers should be trained and adequate enough to deal with a person and keep things calm so they don't have to get into a deadly force situation. They asked her to go and turn that fire off because they didn't want it to catch on fire while they were over there talking to her. And this is what happens next.
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I would rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
I
rebuke you in the name of
You better fuck.
You hear what he said? You better not.
Now she has the boiling hot water in her hand.
Yeah.
And it's
But if he would let it play, you would hear her drip it. She poured it out. If he would let the video play, go ahead.
Yeah, because I think at one point he started reaching and stretching
she didn't
and
pour it
stuff,
all
man.
out. And then she started she has the boiling hot water in her hand. It seemed like she poured it out, but I guess she didn't pour it all out. And then she started making statements to them. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Now, as a police officer, you're talking to somebody who's mentally unstable. Now she has a pot of boiling water in her hand. And now she's starting to turn. Your antennas will go up.
Okay, but you told her to go and turn it off, dummy.
Go up.
Why are your antennas going up when you told her to go over there? Your antennas should have went up before you told her to go over there to touch the pot. She shouldn't have even been in the kitchen, period. She should have been still sitting on the couch. You had a partner there that could have turned off that eye, right? Especially if you're going to consider that boiling water a deadly force, right? A weapon or whatever you call it. So why would I allow you to go turn the pot off and touch the water if I'm afraid for my life that you're going to pour that water on me? Why would I let you do that? See, all of this is confusion here. It makes no sense to me. But go ahead.
And by the way, look, on this dude, he got when he's saying this, he has a Jesus is Lord tattoo right here on his arm.
We can't tell.
And that's on.
Yeah, we can't tell.
You become the enemy. They got a pot of boiling water in their hand, and now they're rebuking you in the name of Jesus. The question law enforcement officers should be asking themselves and engaging is that what is she thinking, and is she going to turn on us? Is this
okay? So why would you walk toward her then? If you thought she was going to throw that water, why are you walking toward her? That's what I need to know. If she got a weapon in her hand, why aren't you standing back there by the door just to make sure? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts.
But go ahead.
This woman has boiling water in her hand, and she's rebuking us now.
He said us.
Yeah.
Now, this officer here.
Did you hear him say you better not?
And straight
And then
pulled
he
the
took
gun
out
out.
his gun.
Yeah, straight pulled out the gun.
Okay. Do I agree with the way he articulated what he said? No, I don't like when officers talk like that because this is what happens when you end up.
You don't like when officers threaten to shoot somebody in the face.
Exactly.
That's what
Because
just
that's
a
what he
little
said.
bit
He
too
said,
far.
I'll shoot you in the freaking face. And that's what he did. Bam, bam. As soon as he said it, he shot her and killed her. And she was crouching down then. So what damage, what threat was it? She was crouching down. She was going to the floor. So what did she do so threatening? That's what I need to know. What part was threatening? Go ahead and finish playing it forecast. I'm trying to find the threatening part.
You already look like a deranged fool and look like a murderous thug because you don't have enough respect and decorum and professionalism not to talk like that to people. You may think to your mind, I'm gonna shoot you. You better drop it. Have a little bit of respect and know that you got to cover yourself and be professional. So if the thing goes south, you're not on camera saying, I'm gonna shoot you in the head. That seems like an exaggerated, like a acceleration of force. He didn't de-escalate anything. He's escalating.
Right.
So now even he got to admit all of the legal activities that the police is doing while trying to say is justified. Like
Right.
that's what I'm saying. He's slow.
Exactly. You know? That's the part that's bothering me. He said it's justified, but all of this stuff was illegal, what he was doing. And what came out his mouth is premeditated. So I hope they charge him premeditated. This is premeditated murder. Because he said it and then he did it. But go ahead.
Yeah. Now, this woman shouldn't have this boiling pot in her hand in the first place. She should put it down.
I think it's
now, this is an unsafe situation. Where do they go from here? So she
shouldn't have never got to this far.
He's on gun.
Right.
I do not have a problem with him being on gun because he's the officer that's closest to her. And this officer is now over here. This out. This is why I think that this is more justified than not. We don't know what's in that pot. Do you? Do we?
What?
Maybe now
over some water.
This woman
over
is
hot
crazy.
water.
He said we don't know what it is. He said, listen what you about to say.
Now manipulating this pot. How do we know she don't have acid in this pot or something even more dangerous?
Now people just got acid in their house.
They be ready to go. Come on, dude. Why is she even in the kitchen? You should be asking. Why was she allowed to go to that kitchen if it is acid boiling that you didn't know what was in that pot? Why was she allowed to touch it? That's the question. Go ahead.
Maybe she was boiling bleach or something. I don't know.
But my thing is, I wanted to hear what the white officers were saying because they're saying something totally different than what he's saying. Totally different.
Okay, yeah, that's why I'll go back to that.
Okay.
He about to shoot his partner.
Right.
Did you see how close he was to him? He was about to shoot his partner.
All right, now what she did.
Partially because, when the stuff is hitting the fan.
And I play a lot of this so we can see the video too,
Sometimes people, they lose all a training, right? And it looked like that's exactly what they're doing here. Let's go back to this real quick. This is how you shoot your partner in the back. If you're staggered. You not have a gun out and be staggered. If you have a gun out, y'all both need to be on the same line.
And this is like 10 minutes of saying all the things he did
if
wrong.
I was with an officer and he pulled a gun, I would pull my taser or pull my gun. I mean, really, I would be on gun if I was the cop on the right side because it's hard for her to get over that table for the cop on the left, which is the guy has a gun. Because now they're on gun, but they're not on line. So now the officer, but he's completely flagging him right here. Completely flagging him.
Yo, you see that tattoo right there?
Yep. What is that? I wish I knew what that was. What did it say?
It's like one of their symbols, like for one of their organizations. I don't know exactly which one and nothing like that, but
okay.
It's like how like the KKK got their own type of stuff like
exactly.
That,
Skull and Bones.
It's probably just some redneck stuff in the woods, though. Like not no.
Okay.
Some. It's just.
But see, if he had shot his gun, he would have shot his partner. That's kind of what I wish had happened. He was in the way. He should have just shot he would have shot his partner right, in the face too, or in the shoulder or somewhere.
Yeah, that would have been the only justified thing about this.
Exactly. He shot him because he was shooting her. Go ahead.
Facts.
Gun is at his back.
Shots fired.
His gun is still at his back.
Yep.
I mean, he literally shoot the guy in the back. Thank God he has a vest on.
Thank God.
I get how it's getting active right now, so I'm not really trying to go too hard against these officers. I'm just saying an after action.
I'll go to one part,
tactical
so we don't
report
have to go
will
through
be
the whole
this,
thing.
right?
Shots fired! Shots fired! Drop
Bad.
Okay, now they shot her. So I want to get to the part where have his body on camera on the one that got indicted.
Now, if your head's cut, bitch, she's done. You can go get it, but that's a headshot.
Listen to what he said right here, though.
He's done. She's
Now,
done.
people may interpret this officer as brash and no, he's scared.
He's scared.
This is an officer that's flustered, and he's talking out of fear and being flustered.
What?
No.
You don't know what
He's scared.
No.
He said that dude was scared.
He said he was scared, but no, he was speaking out his spirit because he knew he got a head wound. So he said she's done because he knew what he did. So now he's gonna try to make excuses for what this dude did because he told you what he was gonna do and he did it. So now you're gonna make excuses why it was okay for him to shoot her in the face when she had her mitts up. She didn't even have the wall. If you would look, she never had the pot. She had the pot, but when he told her to put it down, she put it down. Her hands went up, then she went on the floor. So she didn't have a reason. She didn't even have the pot in her hand. She had the mitts up. This dude is not showing everything because the video shows her with her mitts up, not the pot in her hand when he shot her, and she was going down. So she didn't have the pot in her hand. But go ahead.
What to do. He's probably never seen anybody with a headshot,
talking too much.
point blank, and he's responsible. He's flustered. This is an officer that's inexperienced. I don't care how many years he got on. He's inexperienced. I could see it in his eyes when he turned around and looked at this officer and said, "No."
And the crazy thing, the inexperienced ones would probably be the ones that go get the stuff outside, not realizing, Anyway, I'll get to that part. You're talking about this.
So this is the view from the officer that actually fired the shot. And this is where it changed my mind from thinking that it's unjustified to being justified. At first, I was like, it's not justified. Like that boiling water was nowhere near him. And then I watched this angle.
You see her hands up?
Well, let's start.
Her hands was up.
Yeah. A threat of deadly force when you're in fear of serious bodily injury or death, threat of deadly force is appropriate. She
didn't even have nothing in her hand.
But then watch this. She comes up and throws the water at him.
Oh my God.
What?
Comes up from the ground and throws the boiling hot water at the guy.
Show this.
I didn't see him. I didn't see that. Did you?
Go back.
Look, he just said, I don't think y'all saw that. Ain't nobody see it.
We didn't. Ain't nobody see that.
He ain't see it either. Look, he's trying to find it.
He's lying.
Coming up right now.
And look, watch what he say. You can't find where she's throwing water.
He's lying.
She got one hand blocking her face.
One hand on her face.
That she's coming up from the ground and swinging at the officer like this.
No, she didn't.
You ask me, this is a
she didn't.
Suicide
by lie. That lying. You know why I can't do it.
This fool said suicide by cop. This fool said suicide by cop. And a person, and like, why would you call the police? Like, why don't you just let the burglar kill you if you're trying to commit suicide?
Exactly. That didn't even sound right.
Yo, and the one thing already shooting at her at this point.
She was shot. She was on the ground. Because remember, she had the red mitts in her hand. Now, if we watch it, she had the red mitts in her hands was up. The pot was down. Because when he said, put it down, she said, I'm sorry, put it down. And her mitts went up. That's when he pointed and she went down. So I don't know what he's seeing. He's a liar. He's making up stuff. Go ahead. He's making up stuff.
Is wanting to die at the hands of cops, so they do something.
Oh God! Okay, I had enough. I can't take this one. I can't take it. Let me start lying about this one.
All right.
He's trying to justify his lies.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody seen him. Ain't nobody see that woman throw no water but him. Now what the hell is he looking at?
That's what did y'all see that? Y'all probably missed it. He took him 30 minutes to find the one spot that he's trying to say.
He couldn't even see it.
And this is it.
Lying.
This is her throwing water. I don't see I don't know.
Nothing.
Yeah, it don't look like it to me. He got X-ray vision or something because it's blurry
He
for
a
one.
lion. That's a lion devil. That's what that is. He love his
With
white
this
folks.
woman with boiling hot water in her hand, go down to the ground and then come up to throw the water on the guy and then block her face. Like she's trying to block it because she know what's going to happen. Now, the shot to the head, when he first initially said, I'm going to shoot the person in the head, you are now getting yourself in a position where if you shoot this person in the head, you're going to go to prison.
It's
Because
premeditated.
in law enforcement, we are trained to do body
premeditated.
shots, not head shots. You are trained to eliminate the threat, not kill the person, if that makes sense.
Well, they always kill them. So
Shot
what's
in
the
the-
difference?
Yeah.
Even
Well,
if
it
it's in a
depends.
man, you still gonna kill the person.
Well, it depends if it's a Negro shooting a white boy. Then
Exactly.
okay.
Exactly. You said it right there.
Yeah, he tried to be, but that dude is kind of dumb. That's why
I don't know what he talking about. Ain't nobody talking about no. Ain't nobody talking about her throwing no water but him. Nobody. All these videos, and he was the only one that said that he saw some water. He was the only one. That's how I know he lying. Nobody else said nothing about him. Nobody throwing water. She didn't have a chance to because she put it down and she lifted her mitts up and she said, "I'm sorry," and she went down because she knew he was finna shoot her. She knew it. She knew it. She was hoping and praying that he wasn't. But that's as she was going down, he shot her. So it was no threat. There was no threat. She had the pot was down.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna play this video because if it's a certain part, let me know. It's like 40 something minutes, so if it's a certain part, but I'm gonna play.
Yeah, start right there and see. They,
Yeah, because they was talking about his background what we were showing before, and then I'm gonna play it.
One of those agencies which is mentioned by name, in the press now, locally is under a microscope. Why did we hire this guy? Or these other agencies are going, man, we dodged a bullet by firing this dude or getting him to resign. But the agency that did pick him up, where he was ultimately employed with when he was involved in the shooting, knew or should have known, about this guy's history.
He knew. He didn't care.
Last thing I would say just about him, just from some research and really it's just Googling this stuff, is there's a photo that's kind of going around that shows him. And if you kind of look a little deeper and find the whole booking photo where it's not cropped, you'll see his arms and he's got a bunch of tats on there. And before anyone in your audience freaks out, like, what's wrong with tats? There's nothing wrong with tats. But given the context, again, of what's going on, that is going to come up in court. Right, when he's involved in a shooting, and you can see the forearms and see the tats that are
right in court. They would call it white supremacist gang affiliation type stuff.
Exactly, and that's exactly what it was. The other dude had some too. So they shouldn't be allowed to get those kind of tattoos at all, especially if you shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a video. I think I showed it last time, but I ain't gonna be able to pull it up now. But I might, cause about the tattoos, I'm gonna try to see if I can pull it up. But,
splice that in or whatever. Dude's got skulls on his arm.
Yeah, skull and bones.
Nothing inherently wrong with putting skulls on your arm. Maybe you like a death metal band that's got that, or you got some good reason for doing that. But I can tell you, as cool as you think that is, when this goes to court and your picture is this giant photograph of you in front of the court, it's not going to be that cool, and they're going to use it to show frame of mind. Right now, when you listen to this guy talk, I think he explains his frame of mind, and that's all you need to hear. But that's going to be used against him, as is all this other previous employment stuff. So that's kind of what I found looking at his background.
Back in 2022.
Hold on, let me pull that up real quick. With the tattoo things, real quick. Shout out to my brother for sending me this one.
You need to send that one to me so I can see.
Okay. But yeah, do you want to say something about? All right, hold on. I'll pull it up real quick. Hold on, I got you.
I think for me, the tattoo speaks volumes. I think it is you are what you. If I'm putting a whole bunch of demons and devils on my body, that ought to tell you what my state of mind is. So I do believe that is true. putting, all that satanic stuff on your arms and, tats and stuff. That speaks volumes. It shows him where he is spiritually. And he's a demon.
Yeah, he said, the clothes, tattoos, haircut, language, that whole thing.
Yep. Everything matters. Everything matters. Everything.
Peace, Black family. Again, this is why it's important to know these symbols. Right, as you see this car in front of me, it has the police little thing on the back of it. But then when you look at the top, it has the Punisher with the American flag in it. That's important to study white supremacy. Damn, y'all probably can't see the car in front of me. On the back of this car, you see that sign, that 333? That is a 3% sign in front of me.
Wow. Oh, wow. That's what that means. Okay.
That is a... All right, peace.
All right, so you see that, and more so because you see the mentality of the person anyway. Because if you already see like those bumper stickers and just like a Confederate flag, it's the same thing as a Confederate flag,
Yep, you already know what you're dealing with when you see it.
All right, so
it ain't got nothing to do with no history.
Right.
So, being a supervisor, and I'm sure you've probably had the same experience. I think you have cops that are aggressive. They're great street cops. But they operate a lot in the gray area. And I know you've worked with some where, albeit they're out there maybe doing a good job, but they're pushing the envelope, operating in that gray area. And eventually, like case in point, his supervisor tells him to, cancel his pursuit. He's still chasing the person with no lights and sirens, right? Because he just doesn't have it in him to stand down from that, right? He's chasing the rabbit. He wants to get the bad guy. And
when
so
he
I think
is
that's
the bad guy. That's
exactly, the bad guy. Trying to get the bad guy.
It's so imperative that supervisors have to hold cops like that accountable so it doesn't spiral into something like this. And it will eventually, may not be as drastic as this, but it will turn into something where that cop is going to do something to either get himself severely in trouble and or a partner, and to include the supervisor. So I think that's worth noting. If you're a supervisor, you work with people like this who they're skirting that gray area all the time. I think you really got to pay attention to that and not just brush it off as, that's just kind of the guy that he is. It's important. I mean, have you worked with people like that?
Yeah. And I want to mention the multiple agencies that he worked for. You even said it. It's not necessarily that you're working at that many agencies. You're switching around. There are plenty of people that relocate, different opportunities. But all those were in such a short amount of time. It was since 2000.
What, 6 of them wasn't? Like within 2 years or a year, 2 years, a year.
They did
Something like that.
6 of them.
Exactly.
Right.
That's not no.
Yeah, he probably kept
But the
getting
sad part, they
complaints.
kept hiring him. You at some point you be looking like, hold on, you've been here 3 months, you've been here 3 months, you've been here. What's going on with you? That you had 6 different jobs within a year. That's not good. Something is up, and nobody had the sense to look at that. Not even the chief that hired him. So that chief needs to be fired and retired. Period. That's what you hiring? He had 2 drunk driving charges, DUIs, 2. But you still hiring him. He got a drinking problem, I would think. What you think?
Yeah, sound like an alcoholic to me.
Exactly. Something going on somewhere.
Drug user.
That's something. And you hiring them type of people? Okay. And I'm looking at you sideways. What's going on with you hiring that type of? Because I wouldn't hire that. Would you?
It make me think there's a culture of all that kind of savage behavior going on.
Exactly. And that's what it is. I guarantee you, if you did a background check on a lot of these police officers, you'd be cleaning house. I guarantee you it. But they won't do it because they know that they wouldn't have half of those police force. They would be fired. Especially do backgrounds and see how many had 6 jobs in approximately a year, or how many suspensions you done had for calling somebody niggas, or being racist with somebody, or being too hard, or pushing that gray envelope too many times. You see what I'm saying? Do background checks on them officers and clean house. Seriously, it's time to clean house because it's too much of this stuff coming out for y'all not to. At some point, somebody got to say, "Hold on here. Let's do some background checks. And don't even tell them you're doing it. Just do it and start cleaning house. Get rid of that union and clean house." Because a lot of time them unions are get in the way. And they'll, well, you just can't fire somebody because they got tattoos. Yeah, we can. He's got a background. He done been to 6 different police departments in a matter of a year. That he should have never been hired. Never. So that chief needs to be, they need to sue that chief and get that badge. That's where that bonds for the win come in at. That really needs to happen. Start taking some of them bonds away. And they need those bonds to work. Get rid of them bonds, they can't work. Bondforthewin.com. That's what it's called. They need to be looking it up and doing research on that thing. But go ahead, I rest my.
And and the thing is though, consider at the end of the day, what'll really stop them is if, as my brother Bukhari say, they start playing the bagpipes. You know what I'm saying? The sound, more sound of bagpipes.
Yes, doing unto others, unto others. Ain't that what the word says? Do unto others as you want others to do unto you. I'm just saying.
And sometimes maybe that'd be the only way people learn lessons. Maybe they ain't no talking. Maybe they ain't no trying to negotiate or work it out. Maybe it's only one answer sometimes, And even with the sister having to call somebody else, like maybe the answer would be you have brothers showing up, standing right there, and they talking about intimidating the police or intimidate them, With the problem,
exactly. The right brothers, not them brothers that are cow down. The right brothers,
right brothers,
like the Black Panther that was back in the day, standing them
exactly,
officers down. You know what I'm saying?
And we're gonna have to talk about that, because I just want to play this one part. I want y'all to hear how black cops talk. Some black cops talking to some white folk.
Or that it's excluding other voices that might be different.
Not
in some
right,
way.
the Black Panthers.
You might agree with the existence of racism, but you might have a different approach about how to tackle it or how to respond to it.
Just speaking from a police officer's perspective, I still worry about how it's going to be perceived or received. What will the comments be? Will it be that I'm being dismissive or I'm not Black enough? When in actuality, I'm just trying to be genuine and speak my own truth.
And so that would make you not Black enough, because you're not trying to be Black. You're trying to be a cop and speak your own thing and not to represent for Black people. So yes, it would make you less Black, I guess, because you are trying to get away from that. You're trying to be police first. But what is that culture of police? Just like that fool earlier, I don't know if he was a real cop or not, because I don't know nothing about him. But a lot of them, I ain't gonna say a lot of them, but some of them, a lot of them that's like this dude, have this mentality
and speak on the experiences that I've had. So, and I think Marion hit the nail on the head when she said we've never really escaped.
How do you feel about it, Negro?
Boys in the Hood, correct?
Yeah.
Boys in the Hood. That's the idea that you get when you see a Black police officer. And
when the cop was like, "Oh, I hate your hair because it's Black. I hate your something because it's Black," And that's how Black cops do. They'll you know what I'm saying? The Black cop will be, I remember the Black cop was the one pulling the gun out, you know what I'm saying? Wilding out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was he did the most in that movie. I remember that. He did the most. I'm like, and the white cop just yeah, that's how we supposed to do it. But would you treat your own like that? See what I'm saying? You treat yours the way you want me to. You know what I'm saying? Let me see you treat yours like that. Why I don't never see you treat yours like that? That's what I need to know. Why you always coming in our neighborhood doing that to my babies?
Yeah, and that happened to me for real, the police whatever, and then the Black dude run up acting like, oh yeah, pulling out the gun, wilding out, tripping, he trying to impress the white dudes or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, but anyway, because we need to talk about this here, Cassidra, what you was saying about the thing. So I want to switch it up and talk about this. I'm gonna play this video before we get up out of here.
Teaching kids about this is what all children need to be learning in school. Watch this.
It's like something you would never learn at any other schools, these kind of things. Nope. We had a workshop called How to Manage an Airbnb. What all was involved in that? So the first session, we were working on understanding cash flow, short-term rental. And then the second session, the decision came up whether we wanted to buy a property or rent out a property that allowed you to do short-term rentals.
Yeah. And that's a complicated decision, right?
So we ended up actually renting a property. We didn't want to end up buying a property and then and having to sell it later on.
Then what happened?
And then we started furnishing it. In our listing, we did put the fact that it was being run by 10, 11, and 12-year-olds. And despite that, we even got 5-star reviews, and so people were very happy with it.
Instead of teaching kids about this is what all children need.
Yeah. So yeah, what
All
you
right,
think about
now
that?
that's what we talking about. Yes, that's what we talking about. That's when we gonna do that for our babies. When we gonna do that? What about the other one with the black guy that I showed you, who was also talking about you leaving an inheritance for your children?
This guy, let me see.
Yeah.
Where instead of kicking our children out when they're 18, they come to work with us in our family business. And then when they get married, we give them a house so they don't have a mortgage and a family business so they don't have to find a job. And then we teach them an aspect of the family business so that when we die, instead of just giving them money, we give them a mindset, we give them a skill set, we give them a tool set that they can perpetuate the family's wealth instead of decimating the family's wealth. See, we want our children to leave when they're 18. You know why? Because we're Americans. But the Bible says that then shall a man leave his father and his mother and cleave unto his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. So biblically, a person leaves home when they get married. Oh, you mean I have to put up with them for that anymore? The reason you have to put up with them is because you didn't train them up. If you train them up, you don't have to put up with them. But imagine that as a world where your children don't have to start from scratch. Imagine if your parents would have set you up so you didn't have to start from scratch. Imagine how much further ahead you'd be. Well, guess what? As my good friend Dr. Sonia always says, you may not come from a wealthy family, but a wealthy family should come from you. Imagine a world where instead of kicking our children out.
Yeah. So
That
yeah,
would be nice, but you know the disadvantage of us. You know what I'm saying? So you do. Most people do leave their children houses, but then a lot of times they don't want it and they end up selling it. You know what I'm saying? They sell it off after the parent dies. So I do believe that you can teach them, you know, but I believe that they have to get their own in order for them to appreciate it. I do. I believe the more skin you put in the game, we can teach you how. We can leave you, some money to maybe put a down payment. But as far as I wouldn't leave you my house, I would sell it. And I'm just saying because I know how kids are, and kids don't want your house; they want their own, and they would sell it or give it away, and then they'll have their own home over there instead of them passing it down and allowing it to be a rental for the grandkids. Say like the grandkids get grown and get put out or lose their home, then you'll always have somewhere to go for somebody in the family. You know what I'm saying? But they wouldn't do that. They would sell that house or they would tear it up or they would give it away or, so I kind of agree with him, but I don't because I know that kids, when they work hard for their own, they tend to take better care of it. So for me, I would rather leave them money and let them do what they want with the money. But the business, if you want the business, then I think that I'll leave. I don't. It just depends if they want the business. But if I have a child that don't want nothing to do with the business, then yeah, I'm selling the business, and I'll just leave them a piece of money, and they can create their own business. Because a lot of times these parents leaving these businesses and they're going bankrupt. They don't care about the business like that. And I rest
Yeah.
my mind.
No, yeah, I agree with that, and it goes back to that other one too, because we don't have the institutions that we are putting money into to teach our children about how to manage our businesses. I know, Bakari talk about the businesses that, he's left and all of that stuff like that. And, but yeah, like that goes back to that whole point of if you want to have the change, then you have to make it yourself. There's nobody
Right.
coming to save us. It's
Right.
like we have no friends, right?
Right.
We are all we got. And if we're going to like make it happen, we got to make it happen. If we want them to stop violating us, we got to make sure that it comes with consequences every time, And the way to empower yourself and is like to, number one, teach your children how to be self-sufficient, how to pass. Like if you got to have them in the Jamaican or African shop or whatever shop, just like the Chinese do at the Chinese store, running the cash register, then do that for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Make that wherever that we are. You know what I'm saying? All of that type of stuff. So, but yeah, the only way to like understand like is a crime to violate Black people, and anytime that happens, somebody has to pay for it. And unless that happens, you know what I'm saying, then we are in trouble. But You want to say anything now, Cassidra?
I totally agree. Unless we start doing, for self and start defending ourselves and start making them pay for what they do to us, and nothing is going to change. And as far as our children's inheritance, money is, if you have a business, like I said, and if they don't want that business, then you sell it. But if they want the business and they truly do want the business, then yeah, you could leave it to them. You could pass it right down. You know, but if you know that that's not your child's gifts, why would you leave them something that you could sell? Give them a piece of money and they can do what they want with that money. They can either create their own business, or they can go buy a house, or they can do whatever. You are leaving generational wealth. But I wouldn't dare leave a business and I know that it weren't interested in it. That makes no sense, because that's money, that's hard work that you worked for, and you could actually sell that thing and live pretty decent and just have them a piece of money they decide. But I just want us to get over this and understand that um, we have to stick together. Just like this scenario with this with Sonia. So sad, because our own wanted to condemn her. Our own wanted to say it was justified. This is why we stay at the bottom. This is why they keep murdering you, because we make excuses why it's okay. But the white cops, if you had to listen to it, the white cops were the ones that said that he was wrong. That you would expect them to say that he wasn't, that you would expect them to stick by him, but they didn't. They said that he was wrong. They said that he should have never been hired. They really went into details with that. But I'm looking at they looking at the same video. What's going on with them? What's going on here? Why did the black guy, who should have been defending his sister, had to prove, had to please white folk, right? Had to please massa. But the white guys didn't do that. They spoke truth. And they condemned him, the white dude. That's disheartening. That makes me mad. Because our own, won't even protect you. But if it was a white boy, I guarantee you he would have said that wasn't a justified shooting. You know what I'm saying? But for your sister, you said it was justified. That's sad. That speaks volumes. I would never want him to patrol nothing. I wouldn't even let him work in a black neighborhood. He needs to work with the white folk, because he's a coon. He's a sold out coon that ain't gonna do nothing for his own. That would sit up there and shoot you in the face for nothing. Because it was their fault in the first place for even letting her go in that kitchen. So you killed her when you said it was okay for her to go in the kitchen. You murdered her. That's called murder. If we don't know what it is, that's called murder. So somebody needs to pay for that. And I think it's the chief who hired him. He needs to be sued. He used to no pension. He needs to be fired, resign, no pension, because you knew this brother was bad news in the first place. And he just happened to be the one to get caught with the bad apple. I rest my mic. This is crazy. And then as far as the kids going out with these white kids and y'all being friends and calling yourself friends, are we done dying by their hands yet? What is it going to truly take for us to separate from these devils and trust and believe that even if you've known some white folks that was pretty cool with you, that one white person that was pretty cool that gave you $5 worth of gas one time, and you just put them on a pedestal, even if you knew somebody like that, it's time to come from among them too. Because
Especially.
ain't nothing good. Go ahead, forecast.
No, I was just saying, especially though.
Especially because there's nothing good in any of them. Nothing good in any of them. Because if you really yourself, you ain't got no white friends. If you really being black, I don't have white friends. I don't. Can you imagine one hanging out with me the way I talk? we never see white folk hanging out with black folk. They talk like me, do. But you'll see a black person in a minute hanging out with them and act just like them. You give up your blackness to be friends with them. I'm not giving up nothing to be with them because I don't like them, just like they don't like me.
Yeah.
And I would never pretend to like them and pretend to be friends with them. Period.
No, yeah, I would definitely be friends and hang out with you. You know what I'm saying? Than them. So that's all day. But yeah, you're right. They call us racist for that, for all that.
Exactly. When we holding them accountable for their behaviors in the past against us. We don't want to be bothered with them, but we the racists. Are you serious? And I just look at them when they say that. I say, are we holding them accountable for anything that they've done in the past? But it's been in the past. Okay, and they're still doing it. What have they done to fix it? Tell me what they've done to fix it. Just like Biden. I used to tell them, he was a racist then, he still is. And they're so, well, that's been 20 years ago. Well, show me what he's done to fix it. How has he improved it? How has he fixed it? What did he do to make it better? Nothing. Then to me, he's still the same. Because repentance is you changing things and you making it better and you fixing it, right? And you repaying people that you harmed in the past. He never did that. He never apologized. He blamed the Black Caucus. He blamed John Lewis and them. He blamed the Black pastors, did he not? He never took any blame for writing that crime bill. Never. Because he was a racist. And that's why he being treated the way he being treated. I'll rest my mic.
Hey, look, one thing the racists can always remember is saying the N-word. They'll never forget that. As with Alzheimer's and everything. Shouts out to Raw in the building. I appreciate you for coming through, Raw. Car say, yeah, they will not hang out with you. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so yeah, I appreciate y'all coming in here. Consider you want to say anything else to wrap it up? This was definitely another good one, another productive one.
Absolutely. It's just us coming together and brainstorming. It's us coming together and speaking our truth, and hopefully either the ones that's here listening or the ones that's gonna come behind them and hear the program that they would just think. We're not just here, we're not talking, we're here to help you to see truth. Not just here just shooting the breeze, or we ain't got nothing else to do every Wednesday at 8:30. We just gonna come and shoot the breeze. No, we're trying to wake our people up. We're trying to wake y'all up. It's time for us to wake up and separate right now. Because what's coming, y'all, I'm telling you, we ain't gonna like it. We're gonna be in trouble. If we don't come together now and have a plan and then be prepping and have a plan or a meeting place, we're gonna be in trouble. We can't even get with our neighbors because we so sprawled out that if something happened today, it's some people just the only Black person in their neighborhood. What y'all gonna do if shit hit the fan? Where y'all gonna go? Them neighbors ain't gonna let you in there. You think they gonna let you in there? They not gonna let you in there. You ain't got some Black folk across the country or across the block or around the corner. You gonna be out there by yourself, and ain't nowhere in the world I'd be mixed in with them by myself. I swear I wouldn't. You ain't gonna last by yourself. They gonna have some friends. They gonna have some acquaintances. They gonna have some people who they gonna hang out with. But I guarantee you, they not gonna let your Black behind. But you will let them come. We'll let them be the only white around us, won't we? But they won't let you be the only Black around them with it. They'll kill you before we will them. We're gonna be in trouble. We better get it together. The presence of a man, family, is everything. The presence of a man. If Sonia had a man in that house, she would have never had to call police. She would be alive today. Because hopefully the man, the true Black man that she would have had, would have made sure that she was safe. And if she'd had heard a noise, he'd have handled his business. Now you got these coons too now that'll help you to call police. And police come and they kill them. Instead of you, what you need to call them police officers for, we know what they're gonna do when they get there. Somebody gonna die. And usually it's you. Usually it's the Black person. Like the grandma called the police officer and they shot her grandson. Remember that? That's crazy. So what you keep calling them for? Tiana Jefferson, remember her? The one that got shot by the police officer with her nephew in the room? The neighbor called the police. What you calling the police for? Why we keep calling them? We ain't learned yet. Every time we call them, somebody died. Stop calling them. Stop it. And stop letting your children hang out with these crackers, these little snow babies. Them snow demons. Stop letting your children hang out with them. Start telling your boys those are no-nos. Start telling your boys don't bring one of them home. Those are very dangerous women. We think we doing something by dating them. You ain't doing nothing but risking your life, bro. You risking your child life when you don't tell your child. You don't warn them about them demon people, those snow women. You doing your son, you doing your daughter a disservice. So I'm touching on all of it because all of it's important. And I'll rest my mic.
Yeah, And I agree with that. And you know, all I can say is be more like Miss Pauline here. You know, Miss Pauline Brown. You know, this elderly woman had her candy bar. The white boy tried her, and she made sure he, you know what I'm saying, saw what was up. So shouts out to Miss Pauline Brown, you know.
Yes, we honor her. We honor
Definitely.
you, Miss Pauline. We honor her. We need to send her some canteen. We need to help her with her child.
Right, definitely get her a lawyer, get her off, you know what
Yes.
I'm saying? So we need to take lessons from
Self-defense.
her. Right. It's definitely
Yes.
self-defense.
She was
She's free of her life.
Hey, she was traumatized. Hey, she could say I was traumatized. I got dementia.
Hmm.
She could say I got dementia. I'm thinking about she can go back way back in the 1950s or something. You know, that looked like that man that raped me brother or something. She can
Hmm.
go way back.
You'd be like in 1990 for real. You ain't got to go to the 50s. but
Oh
but
my God.
but yeah, shouts out to her, you know, and I appreciate all of y'all for listening. Shouts out to
Yes.
Bakari and the John. Shouts out to Raw, William.
Oh,
I appreciate all of y'all. You know how I gotta
yes.
do my last words, Cassidra. It's gonna be my last words.
Yeah.
Tonight on The Patriot Factor, we are here with special guest Darren Coates, pastor of New Love Worship Center. Pastor.
Thank you for having me, Sarah.
Thanks for coming. So, 10.5 million in property damages since the Brady trial ended. You have a question for those angry Black protesters out there.
The question I have for those protesters is that, do Black lives really matter? And I say no. Black lives does not matter. They won't not matter. And they can't not matter until Black on Black crime is eliminated.
Wow. Preach, preacher.
Blacks is confused. Don't nobody know what to do. Confused. What I'm gonna do? Am I gonna raise a fist? Or am I gonna march? Am I gonna march? Or am I gonna take a knee? Riot. Loot. What? And you know what the answer is, Sarah? Prayer. Prayer, Sarah. I get down on both knees.
Well, you get your head beat in. Go ahead.
Not one.
Both knees.
Both knees.
And I pray.
And they bash your brains in.
I pray that the same God who saw us through the middle passage will see us through this.
Amen.
Amen, sister.
Amen.
Amen, sister.
Amen for it. Amen. Let them beat your brains in. You right. Yes, beat your brains in.
Yeah,
A
that's
good
what
old
we
whipping.
Yeah, that's what we are, Cassidra.
Mm.
But yeah, definitely, I appreciate you for coming coming on here. We definitely gonna be back next week at 8:30, y'all. You know, so
Yeah.
thank you, Cassidra. This was another great one.
Thank you, Forecast. It's always great.
Yeah. So as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.
Peace, family.